Hi guys, sorry I can't be live with you today, but I left some work for you guys to do independently. You're going to start off by watching this video. You're going to see a video on brain pop, which is going to remind you of what division is and what it looks like. Then we will talk about our 3-read word problem. And then I'm going to leave you off with another division word problem through a Khan Academy video. Once you're done watching all of those from this video, then you will move yourself over to MobyMax and complete your independent work. Some of you still are working on your multiplication assignments from last week, and that's okay. Finish those up first, and then you'll be moved into division lessons. I'll see you guys after lunch.
Enjoy this movie, then visit brainpop.com for much more.
All right, you goons, we did it. We got away with 3 of the biggest capers in history. When we get back to the hideout, we'll divvy up the loot, and we'll all be rich. Rich, I tell you. When we're through, boys, we'll all be driving new Packards and listening to the biggest radios they make. Okay, first order of business. Let's divide the loot from the first job. Hot diggity, just look at all that ice. We got diamonds, 20 of them. Now let's see, there was 4 of us participated in the heist. Crusher, Bruiser, Moby, and me. If we divide things up equally, we each get... Wait a second, how do we divide 20 diamonds evenly among 4 people? Well, yeah, we need to use division to figure it out. Division is basically the splitting of large numbers into equal groups of smaller numbers. In our case, we're trying to divide our loot in between the 4 of us so that we have an equal share. Well, in division, all these numbers have special terms. The number being divided is called the dividend. Here, the dividend is 20 for our 20 diamonds. The number you're dividing by is called the divisor. Here, the divisor is 4, since we have 4 people. And the answer you get is called the quotient. Our quotient is 5. So each of us gets 5 diamonds. Holy mackerel, 15 gold coins. Pretty soon we're all going to be dancing the Lindy Hop on the Queen Mary. Now let's divide them up. What's up, little Jimmy? Okay, fair is fair. You tipped us off to this big score, so we'll divide these coins up 5 ways. Now let's see. How many times can we divide 15 by 5? Yep, you got it. We can divide 15 coins into 5 groups of 3 coins apiece. And you can check your answer by multiplying the quotient by the divisor. If your answer is the dividend, you've done it right. Let's see, 3 times 5 equals 15. Yep, we've got it. That's because division is sort of like the opposite of multiplication, in the same way that subtraction is the opposite of addition. And now for the last part of the haul. 21 pocket watches. Why, we'll be taking flappers to the Autobot until... Ooh, cheese it, guys, it's Lieutenant Rita. I mean, we just acquired these 21 lovely watches. And since there's 7 of us, including you and Sergeant Cassie, we could, divide the loot 7 ways. Let's see, 21 watches for 7 people. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So that's 3 watches apiece for each of us, including you 2. Oh, why did I think I could get away with this? Becoming a 1930s gangster was a really bad career choice. Of course, it could work for Halloween.
Visit us at brainpop.com for more on...
All right, guys, so that was just a quick reminder of what division is and how we use it in real life. We use it to divide things up. We use it to split things. And especially like they showed at the very end, splitting up some Halloween candy. Maybe you like to share it with your siblings. So before we move on to our Khan Academy video about division word problems, I just want to remind you of the 3 steps that we had talked about. We talked about the 3-read math protocol. And during that math protocol, we read our word problems 3 times. So let me share my screen here. So on the screen, we have a word problem. We're going to read this 3 times, and we have a different purpose each time we read it. The first time I'm reading, I'm just trying to get the gist of it. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on in this story. Maybe I'm starting to develop a picture in my head to visualize what's going on. So let's read it the first time through and get the gist. Mrs. Ambler brought a bag of 20 cookies into school to share with her class. There are 10 students. How many cookies will each student get? Okay, so I can picture walking into school with a bunch of cookies and I'm going to share them, right? That's the gist of our story. That's what's going on. Then I'm going to read through it a second time to look for some quantities, to look for numbers and what those numbers represent. So Mrs. Ambler brought in a bag of 20 cookies into school. Oh, 20 and cookies. My quantity is 20 and it represents cookies to share with her class. There are 10 students. Ooh, 10 students. My quantity is 10. It represents students. How many cookies will each student get? Okay. Now for read 3. This is where I try to determine what kind of math questions are they asking me and how am I going to solve this? Mrs. Ambler brought a bag of 20 cookies into school to share with her class. There are 10 students. How many cookies will each student get? So I know my math question. How many cookies does each person get? And I can visualize that. I can picture myself thinking, ooh, how many cookies am I going to get? So how many cookies? So as I'm thinking about this and I'm visualizing it, I'm picturing kids in a classroom and I'm picturing handing them out. So I could draw the pictures. I could draw 10 students and then I could start to share those cookies. So as you're listening to our Khan Academy lesson, I want you to think about those 3 steps that we're going to keep making sure that we use, those 3 reads every time we do story problems. Okay, so now that we've seen a little more with division and another way to solve it, I want you guys to move over to MobyMax and work on your independent lessons. Have a great afternoon.